Okay. Just point at me when it's ready to go.
I'm pointing at you.
We're
We're already
ready to go
going.
live,
We're
point
good.
at me.
Yeah. We're live.
That way I'll know that it's time.
We're live. I'm pointing at you. Hello.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Point at me when it's ready to go live,
Yeah.
and then we'll start. So yeah, point just like that. That's perfect.
Like this?
Point. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm ready when you are.
Hmm.
All right, we are live. It is the Lotus Cast. The Lotus Cast on strangelabel.com. Hey guys, we're back. We're back. We are back. We are back. Strangelabel.com. Hey guys. Dave, Joe.
Hi.
Hey,
How have you all been? I hope you've been well.
I'm in Dave's house.
It's true.
You know what really makes me feel good is I'll get on Twitter sometimes and Liquid Lozenge on the Twitters will have he always tweets that he misses us.
Aww.
Makes me feel good. Like, hey, you know what? There's one person.
What specifically does he miss about us? Like our witty repartee, our divisive politics.
I think that he has a very sad existence. And that Strange Label slowly became this thing for him. Every single night he had something to do.
We are a social circle.
Yeah.
Was it more like, does he have kids? Was he just trying to escape his kids into a world of fantasy?
Shows like Howard Stern and O&A, they have those people that glom onto them, like High Pitch Eric and Eric the Midget and all those people, right? All of those individuals. But it's so many. And we here at Strange Label, we have Liquid. Liquid is he's our whack pack. He's our single man or one man whack pack. The person that has some sort of mental illness that is so drawn to us, and he keeps coming back. And now that I've insulted him, obviously he's going to continue to listen.
Will he though?
Yeah, he has not left us in years. I think he started listening to us when we were on Radio Fubar.
Has it really been that long?
Weren't we on Radio Fubar in like 2013?
Yeah, this has been going on for a long time.
Well, it hasn't really been going on for a long time. It had gone on for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's more accurate.
Matt, what the hell are you doing?
What do you mean?
The only face of yours we see is your face on the wall. I fixed it for nothing? Is that what you're telling me?
All right, sorry.
Yeah,
Is
tilt
that
your
better?
webcam down.
Thanks.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice tits.
But you tilted it back up. There it is.
Is that
Matt's
better?
boobies are out. He doesn't want us to look at them though.
No, my titties are out. I don't have as much titty, I think, as the last time I saw you.
Really?
I have, obviously the last time that we talked, it's not a two-man show. There's three of us here.
What? Can he not
Ultimate
hear
Anchor in the
Joe
chat
or something?
Is the Lotus Cast now a
I can
two-man
hear
show?
Joe.
Maybe he doesn't hear Matt.
He definitely hears Matt. I just checked and made sure that he hears Matt. I also hear a buzz. I don't know what the buzz is.
It's Matt.
It's probably from Matt.
Am I a buzz? Yeah, I've got less. I got a little less titty. I'm actually down. I'm down 35 pounds.
That's a shame.
Not eating meat and running every other day. That's what I do.
Congrats? Question mark. If that's something you wanted to be.
Yeah, do you want to be
congratulated over?
losing weight? Because I mean, like, you're just gonna have to get it back later, right? You could have just kept gaining weight and then never felt that sense of loss.
I could have kept gaining weight, and I definitely was. Boy, let me tell you something. February was a rough time in Matt's life.
Yeah, you're fitting in with your New Hampshire crowd.
Oh my god, dude! It's a weird place up here. You guys have that Friends of Medway group on Facebook, which, for those of you who don't know, it's like one of those, almost like a yard sale site, but it's just where people go and they talk about Medway. It's a community thing on Facebook, and you get invited to it, and everybody talks about their community and things that are going on, and blah 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 blah. So I am in a group for the Newport, New Hampshire it's like a yard sale site. You know, they just post stuff that they're selling, and it's really just the most ridiculous things. There was a girl who was selling posters that clearly, like, she bought Red Dead Redemption, and that poster that's folded up inside the game, like, she's trying to sell that for $4.
Whoa.
And then Grand Theft Auto 5, right? That poster, it's got all the seams and creases in it, unfolded. That's another $4.
She wants $4 for that?
She wants $4 for each of these posters. She's got a ton of Twilight posters that, again, like, she's bought a magazine.
Is there a big market for used posters?
No, because she keeps reposting the same fucking ad and trying to sell these posters for $4.
You should buy all of them and then post the same ad, but like post it for like $8 each.
I would love, like, honestly, I almost find myself like, I need to meet this person, right? I need to find out what this person sounds like. And more so, there was an ad for a woman selling toilet paper rolls. She had toilet paper rolls, and I think she was trying to sell like this whole batch of them for $10. And I'm just trying to think. Like, I showed it to Mike Moore from Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks on Strange Labels, strangelabel.com. Monday nights, you can check them out. But I showed him the picture, and he was like, oh, you know, you could use that for crafts. Like, people would buy those because they want to make those crafts. I couldn't imagine buying something that somebody has taken multiple shits next to, unrolling paper towel or toilet paper off of them, and then, like, here you go. This is yours now. You can craft something out of this. Are you guys there?
No.
No, I was watching Dave do something.
Okay.
I'm looking for because you said you wanted to hear what that person sounds like. So
Dave has like 4 monitors, and there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I just, like, the site is really ridiculous. There's a woman who was trying to sell like a lot of 200 DVDs, some of them duplicates, mind you, and
wow.
She wanted $322 for them.
For DVDs.
For these DVDs, and it was all of the bad ones. Like, it wasn't like you're going through it and think, oh, like, there's a movie that I would watch. It was all these really just like the stuff that you'd find in the $5 bin, you know, that nice. Walmart couldn't sell, so they just threw it in there. And I loved the part where she just had to clarify, though, that hey, there's some duplicates in here.
She has 6 copies of Beverly Hills Cop 7.
I have 4 copies of Soul Plane.
Well, we might have a recording of her voice.
I like that.
You're writing a really
it's an ad.
That's an ad.
Dave doesn't have an ad blocker.
It's opera. I don't use that. I ruined the bit, but whatever.
He worked so hard.
He did. He
I was picking one out.
Searched for this.
But yeah, it's definitely
We're gonna make pina coladas.
Is this what she sounds like? You think?
You know, she might sound like that. She was a younger girl though. Like, she was definitely a teenager.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Simply Sarah may have eaten a few teenagers.
She very well.
I thought she's healthier now, Dave.
Okay, Joe. Hold on. Because you can see her again, and she lets you do that. And tell me if this person looks healthier to you.
Yeah, but like healthier than before. Didn't you say she had like a stroke?
She's something weird happened to her. This is actually my favorite one because the face that you can see her make for like out of the corner.
She's making a pina colada, but using like a full pineapple.
Yeah.
It looks like she's using like a little penis pump in a
pineapple. I know, right?
It does look like that.
Wait, when she goes to pull the thing out, now look at her face.
Oh,
that was not a good angle.
I watched this maybe 40 times.
That cannot be the easiest way to like gut a pineapple.
It is. Yeah, they make those little pineapple gutting tools. Rochelle uses one.
Yeah, but did you see how much she had to struggle?
Yeah, look at her.
Look at her face right
here.
That
pineapple looked like it's falling apart.
No, that's a yeah. I mean, that tool itself.
Joe, can you emulate this face for Matt?
Ooh.
No, you can do better.
I need to see it again.
Like imagine getting like a turtle getting raped or something. That's what it looked like to me.
Ooh.
Simply Sarah, what a gem.
Oh, somebody put a picture of it in the chat.
Anchor
post. Oh boy, there she is. Actually, she doesn't look that bad in that photo. Like the video that we saw.
She maybe looks better. Is there an ad blocker for Opera?
Yeah, I'll get it in a sec. Are you sure about that, Matt?
I mean, that looks better than the last one.
Hi, everybody. This is Sarah here.
This is all, she does live streams now.
To invite you
Now about her like weird jewelry parties and Tupperware parties. And like, if you skip through this, she looks like she's crying for 90% of it.
I will say, I mean, she's doing full frontal now, so.
Look at how sad she looks right now.
Yeah, but at least her hand looks like a normal hand now.
Are you sure about that?
She held it up a couple times. You could.
Well, we didn't see the other hand, and she used it to scratch her tit. So.
That does not look like a normal hand to me. That looks like somebody inflated a glove.
Oh well, when I saw the fingers, they kind of look like normal fingers.
No, they don't. Look how sad she looks. There's so much pain in her eyes.
Why is she always squinting?
Well, that's because the fat has closed her face. Look at the pain there.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, but I think it's probably whatever she's talking about.
No, she's not actually sad. She just can't help but look that way.
Well, also, I mean, look how heavy she's breathing.
Are you playing in slow motion? Oh,
no,
I didn't know what was happening.
No, she just froze. She was reading the chat.
Yeah.
Oh man,
she does have feelings.
She's so depressing.
Why would she pick this angle? I mean, granted, she probably doesn't have a lot of good angles, but
you think that other angle was better, Joe?
I mean, if you should shoot down, like looking down, so that
is the key.
Not like under the chin.
That is the key. If you, oh boy,
yeah, that looks worse there.
Oh boy, yeah, that's not. Oof.
It's very impressive.
I don't know that I would use impressive, but.
So that could have been you, Matt. If you just kept with it for a couple years.
Yeah, but why do you want him to look like that?
I mean, it would be funnier for everybody else if that happened to me. I could understand the appeal of me becoming that.
To be fair, I mean, you still got like another 60 or 70 years to turn into that, so.
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, so get on it. Get back on the horse.
Calling us mean. Hey, did you guys watch Jurassic World 2?
Nope.
No, haven't had a chance.
Okay.
Should we have?
No. I mean, if you want to watch something just to see how terrible it is, then yes. Otherwise, definitely stay clear of the Jurassic World 2. It was really bad. I mean, I think we watched the trailers and stuff. I remember last.
I mean, it was gonna be obvious it was bad. Like all the trailers made it look miserable.
Right. And it was just as miserable as the trailers. And they did another one of these bits. Ultimate Anchor says, I saw Jurassic World 2. It wasn't that bad. Weird ending.
Did they go into any detail about why they were on a volcano island?
Yeah. I mean, so the gist of the film is that
they built a theme park on a volcano island.
Right. There's a active volcano now on Isla Nublar, and
out of nowhere, right? Like just surprise them. Like who could have predicted?
Right. Just started happening, and it's gonna it's gonna kill all of the dinosaurs. So there's this big movement of, hey, what do? We got to save these dinosaurs. They went extinct once. Like we should save them. And then the government's finally like, you know what? No, leave them. They went extinct for a reason. Let them die. Well, it turns out that the guy who raised Babe the pig, James Cromwell, is like, hey.
Is that from Cochrane?
What?
Yes.
Is that from Cochrane?
Yes.
You don't know.
Yes. So he's like, hey, we should save these dinosaurs. And they want to go capture the dinosaurs and move them to another island. Well, then there's an evil business guy who actually wants to capture the dinosaurs.
What about the Asian guy? Is the Asian guy evil or good in this one?
He's evil.
Because he was evil in the...
Yeah,
he was good in the original Jurassic Park, and then he was evil, right?
Oh, he's definitely evil.
He's evil.
He was good in the first one, and then he was evil in Jurassic World, and he continues his evil streak. I think there's redemption in the third film, but that's just me.
Is Newman still evil?
Newman is still evil, yes.
That's a shame.
Although he was saved just before the Dilophosaurus ate him. So anyway, an evil business guy is like, hey, actually, I'm going to capture these dinosaurs, bring them back to the United States, and we're going to sell them to the black market to a bunch of arms dealers from around the world.
Because nobody's going to suspect them when they're charging into battle on the back of a fucking Stegosaurus.
That's like the worst idea. Wasn't that also the plot to one of the other Jurassic Parks?
In Jurassic World, there was a guy who was like, great, we can weaponize these velociraptors. And that's why they were going to make, like, again, that stupid bit that Jurassic World is doing is where, hey, we have the coolest thing in the fucking world, right? We have dinosaurs. But we got to have this weird genetically infused fucking T-Rex / Velociraptor, and that was the whatever, I can't remember what it was called in the first one, but this film they did the same thing where they had something called an Indoraptor. So the stupid thing about the Indoraptor is the way that you activate it is you have a gun that has like a laser beam sight on it, and if you aim the laser beam sight at somebody, the Indoraptor is now transfixed on that target. And then if you hit this button on the gun that like triggers this audio sound, then the Indoraptor will attack.
Okay, so you need to point a gun at something, and instead of just shooting them,
right,
you have an attack raptor.
Yes.
That seems like something out of Just Cause or something, some dumb video game.
Did they borrow the Transformers writers for this plot, or?
That is one of the silliest things. You shoot a really slow big bullet.
They are aware that dinosaurs are not bulletproof, right? Like you can still shoot the dinosaurs.
Well, that's the other stupid thing is I don't understand the weaponizing the dinosaurs. Like we are so far advanced in our weapon technology, right? Like we have tanks
or spears,
anything.
Like what the fuck?
We have grenades. You can throw them at the.
You literally, if you have to use a gun. Like,
remember in the last movie when that big like T-Rex like dinosaur clawed something out of its neck? Like, what appendage did it have to claw something out of its neck?
Right. I'm telling you, it again, just the continued streak. Like they give you this weird glimpse where like, oh, we're back on the island, right? And the island is almost one of the coolest things about Jurassic Park is just. We have this island inhabited with these dinosaurs, and they were there for maybe 15 minutes of the film.
Yeah, it's off the coast of Costa Rica.
Yeah, and as they try to capture these dinosaurs and move them off. And I mean, for whatever reason, they tried to do this really stupid. Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt are separated again, so we have this weird tension. And they're playing off of that relationship. We got a couple of stupid characters. But it was a really bad movie.
Weren't there kids, like random kids like Ian Malcolm's like kid or something in this one again? I have no idea. Somebody's kid. There was like a kid with them, right? Like a little black kid?
Jurassic World, right? The big push that it had in the trailers is that, we have the voice of Ian Malcolm. Jeff Goldblum will be reprising his role, and he's going to come back, and the world really is in love with Jeff Goldblum again. He's in the movie for as long as he's in the trailer.
Yeah, no, that's I'm not surprised with that. But I mean, like, isn't there a kid running around with them? There
is a kid there's two kids.
Why are there kids with them?
They're not really kids. They're young, like 20 somethings. They're not
I could have sworn there was a little kid in this one.
Yeah, we thought it was like this weird little kid in the trailer.
There's a little kid in the trailer, the little girl who almost gets eaten by a dinosaur before they save her.
Oh, her. Oh, I forgot about her.
Why would there be like a little kid?
There's a little girl in the movie, and it turns out she's a clone of. She's a clone, and this was what drove James Cromwell away from Jurassic Park in the beginning, is because he wanted to clone people.
I mean, if they can clone dinosaurs, what's next? Designer people, because they just mix dinosaur DNA with whatever they want.
Yeah. Can I be a dino human? That'd be awesome.
So I don't get though.
That should be the next movies. Like it's just years and years in the future, and dino humans have made like a human park.
That's what they wanted to do. There's a script out there, an idea of a script where they fuse dinosaurs and people together, and they're like these weird dino human soldiers.
What?
That was.
Hey, how we can make these humans better? By giving them a brain like 1/80th of the size.
If you look up, like, I think there were ideas for Jurassic Park 4, is where they had this weird idea, and there's drawings,
it's like
there's sketches.
Planet of the Apes, where like the dino humans have taken over.
Kind of,
years later.
That's absolutely asinine.
So I really like. This is where we are, I guess, with movies, right? Like, in Jurassic World, you got to have the souped up T-Rex. In Jurassic World 2, you've got to have the souped up.
When were they making this like Indigo Raptor or whatever, the Encino Raptor? When were they making this? Like after everybody got loose on the first.
Well, you see, Dave, what they did is they infused Brendan Fraser with a Velociraptor.
Right.
And that's he just.
I would watch that movie if Brendan Fraser as a raptor like hung out with Sean Astin and Pauly Shore for an hour and a half. I would be all over that movie.
They did this while they were stateside in the bottom of a mansion. They had the Asian guy. He made the.
But this was after the most recent Jurassic World, like in between, or.
Yeah, like he's been doing this.
So they knew that their like weird invisible dinosaur almost killed everything, and then just like, we need to make raptor bullets.
I don't know why we have to do this weird like genetic thing now in movies. Like the new Predator movie is coming out soon, and that's the whole story. That's, I guess, the theme to this new Predator film. It's
kind of been Predator for a while, like Alien vs Predators. Predator being like, hey, we made aliens just for us to hunt, and then they went with aliens, like, hey, look at these big like monster albinos that made us.
But don't you see, like, but doesn't it seem like it just kind of muddies everything down? Like, we have this cool thing. We have the Predator. We have dinosaurs. They're really cool. Like, I don't know if you guys watched Pacific Rim, the new Pacific Rim Uprising, right? Like, we have this cool thing. We have robots fighting these monsters, but then they got to make this weird hybrid robot fucking monster thing.
Well, like I'm just saying, to be fair with the Predator thing, it's not this particular one that's initiating that for this series. It's been a weird genetic thing for years. In that
they only did that once though with Alien versus Predator.
No, but then Prometheus is about like genetic manipulation and then like spawning these things. So like they've been at least on the genetic line for a while.
Well, that was Prometheus with aliens.
Right.
I mean,
no,
aliens
I understand.
And Predator haven't always
right. No, I know, but it's the same. They're essentially the same series of movies.
I don't think it's fair to say that they're the same series of movies.
They obviously diverge, but they.
I mean, didn't they only make those movies because Super Nintendo made the game?
Yeah, but what I mean is like there is overlap there. So to say like you can't think of Alien without thinking of Predator at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I still have separated. To me, the crossover event failed. So I look at them like I didn't really ever think that Prometheus was ever a part of the same universe.
They're also in Predator 2 with Danny Glover. That was like about some weird like ethnic cleansing of predators among themselves. So you can
I don't know. I maybe you're right. I've never really taken that.
All I'm saying is like I'm not blaming the genetic part of that series on this particular movie. I'm saying like, and obviously it's an issue with other series of movies, but for that particular one, it has been there for longer.
Right. I mean, I don't know. This whole series with Jurassic Park and now into Jurassic World, I guess, maybe I'm just a broken record repeating the same things over again. I'm disappointed because I love Jurassic Park so much. I love that movie. The first one, I could watch that movie every week and never really get bored. Like it's a fun film. and maybe it's a nostalgia of it all. I still, as bad as The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 are, to an extent, I like those. Maybe that's because of my attachment to the characters. But Jurassic World has completely taken me out of that. And I mean, it was the highest grossing film again this weekend. The first one obviously broke a ton of records. It was big. And maybe that's this generation's Jurassic Park, or
no, it's not.
I don't think that it is, but I mean, people are fucking hell bent to go see it, and they're excited to go see it. And then, bozos like Anchor are coming out of it going, I watched it. It wasn't bad. That really frustrates me. It's kind of like the Mike Moore always coming out of a movie going, nah, it was fine. Like, it was bad. It was a bad movie.
You can like a bad movie.
People don't care about story. They just go there to see explosions.
No, I think for what Matt's complaining about is people thinking that you can't like a bad movie, or that if you like it, it's not bad. These two things are separate.
Also, people don't like to say that they went to see a bad movie because it invalidates the fact that they spent a bunch of money to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Like, I've said it already, but Ready Player One is a bad movie, but I really enjoyed it, especially the second time I watched it.
Yeah, I watched Ready Player One, and I didn't find myself hating it.
No, it's not a good movie. It's just like we know it's not a good movie.
Was bad. The pacing of the film was bad, but it was definitely fun. Michelle said this is Suicide Squad all over again. Maybe
There's no defending Suicide Squad, though. I think everybody universally hated.
That's not true.
Suicide Squad, except for obviously Anchor loved it.
I don't think Anchor loved Suicide Squad, but
probably has like Suicide Squad wallpaper. Like
it's
the
what
phone
I hear
ringtone.
A lot though. Is I just hear people saying like, "Oh, it was fine. It was a fine movie." Like, you know what? I went and I saw dinosaurs on the big screen. Like, wasn't that worth it? And I'm like, okay, maybe it was worth it to see these great CGI and these cool dinosaurs and these awesome special effects. But I don't think that's just the extent of it, right? Like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, see, he said you had to turn your brain off, but that's fine because it had good special effects.
Jurassic Park was a fun special effects film. Like, for the time, to see all of that come to life was really cool. But there was also a kind of an interesting story there.
That's the problem, is that they design these blockbusters like just based on what action set pieces they can do, and they kind of like sort of fill in the story in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the other thing with this movie is the characters. Like, there's just no. You don't feel attached to anybody. Like, you feel attached to Chris Pratt because he's Chris Pratt. Like, I mean.
Not anymore. Did you not see his speech?
The MTV Movie Awards speech? Where he talked about pooping?
No, where he talked about how he has to love God or something.
Oh, that was obnoxious.
He said that?
Yeah.
Well, it's a bummer.
Well,
anyway,
Rotten Tomatoes has it at 51%.
What's the audience score?
60.
Jurassic World?
Yeah.
So they're pretty close. It's not a big dip off. Independence Day 2 was a real problem. That wasn't fun and just bad all the way around.
Wait, so Suicide Squad was a lot of fun, but Independence Day 2?
I mean, I don't really remember Independence Day 2 at all. Or Suicide Squad, really. I don't remember either of those movies from my own memory.
I don't see how you could like Independence Day or not like Independence Day 2, but think that Jurassic World 2 was fine.
My favorite part of Suicide Squad was when they randomly added another member to the Suicide Squad just so they could blow him up so that the rest of the Suicide Squad would behave.
What the hell am I looking at right here, Matt? Do you see this? It's irrelevant, but...
Hold on. I don't know what that is. Burger King French toast stick life hack?
What the fuck is that?
Like Mike Messier?
That one kind of, I want to see that.
Do I want to click this?
Also, Carl Urban is going to be going to Rhode Island Comic Con, so that's kind of cool.
I kind of want to see the hack. Like, what do they do with French toast sticks?
Well, it's Mike Messier. We had him.
He's a Renaissance man.
He was a Renaissance man.
He never friended me on Facebook.
I think I unfriended him on
A
Facebook.
fucking whole lot of eggs and stuff like that, but I do have a cankering for these French toast sticks, and yes.
What is with his like weird little?
I don't know what
fucking
that is.
Did he?
Muppet hair.
I was gonna say,
And
did
what is
he
with the-
dye his
why is
hair
he
like
wearing
frosted
Yankee
tips?
sunglasses.
And you have two choices for your French toast sticks. You can order a 5-piece.
He's another guy who shouldn't shoot from below the chin.
Or have this weird thing on it.
$2.19.
Also, is he wearing those like computer glasses that ease eye strain?
You might say, hey, that's a great deal. I want 5. I want what they call a large. I want 5 French toast sticks for $2.19.
Is he telling you how to get more for
Is
less?
he trying to do a like? Is he trying to do a
You
Gary?
can order the sampler size, which is 3 French toast sticks for guess how much? Guess how much if 5 French toast sticks are $2.19? What would you expect 3 to be? Do the math. You're thinking, okay, now I take $2.19 and divide
Oh my
by
God!
Oh my
What?
God, he's
five,
Jesus
really doing
Christ.
and then I do a little discount, so maybe $1.50 for 3.
Let me guess, they're
no,
99
$1,
cents.
Okay,
There it is.
$1 for 3 French toast sticks. Meanwhile,
What a life hack, ladies and gentlemen.
$2.19 for 5. So it
So
makes
he's
no
paying
sense.
$2 for 6 now?
Because for the price of $2, you get not just that's 3, okay? You
Get an extra French toast stick.
another set of 3.
I like that he wanted us to divide, but now he
No,
has
I
to like
paid
explain how to add 3 and 3.
$2 for fucking. This is the most back-ass words fucking goddamn thing. I just.
Why aren't
paid
you complaining
$2
about it?
plus fucking tip. So it's $2 for 6 French toast sticks at Burger King.
And you just destroyed our
Meanwhile, some
environment
other
with the
asshole
extra
goes in there
paper.
and he gets 5 and he pays $2.19 for 5. So I'm paying because I'm getting less per order and getting a bonus wrapper. I'm getting a
Why is he
bonus
outraged
wrapper
by this?
and an additional
It's a life
syrup.
hack.
I don't know if he gives
This is a
me
life hack.
2
He saved
syrups
20
for
cents
5
and got an
French
extra
toast.
What do you-
stick.
I don't
Why
order
is he like?
5, I order 2
Why
sets
is he
of
sitting
3.
there going, "Oh, this
I've
fucking
written to
place
the
is trying to
company,
rip
I've
me
written to
off
Burger King.
for
You know
5"?
what their
But
response was?
if it's
It
a
was
life hack, be
fucking
like, "Hey guys,
egg,
here's a good tip for you."
nothing.
He has more life hacks. What are these?
it can't be good.
Oh, let me just click on his thing here.
All right, it's your buddy.
No, kill yourself.
It's your buddy Mike.
I'm not watching Raw tonight. People will buy the sandwich that you sell them.
How many people watched the burger? 26 people. We were one of them.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Does he have more life hacks? It doesn't.
What are all those videos?
Apparently not.
Oh,
Oh,
just
wait.
one.
Here's this playlist, but what's on it?
It's the Burger King life
Look
hack.
at my calves. They're huge. What is this? What the fuck is this? I gotta skip. Jesus Christ.
That calf is my calf. No steroid, no
Oh,
human
boy.
growth hormone. That is me working on those calves since about, I want to say August 2017. And how have I gotten these calves to be so massive and profound? Through
He has like 6 videos about his stupid calves.
weight straps.
Is he putting weights
Oh.
on his calves? Why?
Okay?
Well, did you see how big they were?
Did you
Joe?
see the size of his calves?
Was he going for the
Because I
calves?
can't.
He's got some sort of skin disease.
Look at that massive leg.
This person is the worst.
Why would he work out his calves and not like the rest of his body?
Jesus Christ.
That's not great.
He's really fat.
Yikes. Dave just like went for it.
I like that he does he still teach his weird acting classes? Because
All right, so this is a little inside. Dave, are you going to Jeremy
No.
and Liz's?
No.
No?
No.
Were you invited?
No.
Okay. So Joe was invited recently to a wedding. Not recently. I mean, we haven't done a show in a while, but he's invited to a wedding, and he went to the bachelor party, right? Which is one of my favorite settings to imagine Joe in.
right.
Okay.
which is
why
he went paintball.
Yeah.
He went to shoot paintball. Now, Joe, you seem shocked that I would think this is a fun environment for you.
I didn't really. I'm not shocked. I told you I went paintballing. It seems like you're bringing it up for some reason.
Did you get hit in the nuts?
Well, so, I mean, here's the thing. I have you ever been paintballing before, Dave?
Yes.
So, I remember I've done it before, like as a kid. It's not the greatest thing in the world, like laser tag or something like that. You know, it's just all the same.
It's laser tag with pain.
Right.
Sure.
And I just thought it was really funny because I'm trying to imagine, like the people that go paintballing, right? They usually take it pretty
they're
serious,
obnoxious.
right?
Yeah, they're some of the worst people that you're ever going to encounter.
Yeah, they're awful people, and like they get in there and they're always like, doing the secret hand motions to, hey, you go left and you do this, and we got to flank the whatever squadrons. And I'm wondering,
there was some of that,
Joe, how your experience was, because.
Well, when I first got there, I didn't know what to expect because, like I said, I'd never been paintballing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anchor. Yeah, you don't know who they are. It's
not really relevant.
It doesn't matter.
It's not relevant. They're in our circle, but they've never. I don't think.
They've never been in the show. I don't think we ever talked about it. It's fine, but like, they're getting married, and Jeremy had his bachelor party, and I went to it. And the first thing we did was paintball, and I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been paintballing before.
You kind of know what to expect.
Well, no, because I don't know, a lot of people bring their own gear. I don't know, is it more expensive? Obviously, I'm gonna have to rent stuff.
I think it's fair for Joe not to know what to expect because I don't think he's ever been.
No, but I mean, there's nothing more to expect other than shooting at each other.
Yeah, but nobody has ever shown me how to operate a paintball gun. Apparently, there's a safety on it.
Click.
There's a safety on it. They have these reload cartridges. And after every game, you have to get it refilled with air. It's a whole thing. And how
many times did you yell, "I'm out"?
I didn't have to because they gave us these belts with 3 refill cartridges. So after every game, you could just refill the cartridges. But it was expensive. It was more than I thought it would be. It was $65 for 1,000 paintballs plus renting the gear. And
wait, what was the price again?
$65.
Wow.
So I don't know what regulars do. Obviously they must get their own paint and they already have their own guns and stuff. But
yeah, I mean, if you have your own gear, obviously it's not going to cost you that much.
But they give you basically a kid's paintball mask that you have to wear at all times. My favorite
part.
Yeah.
About the story is that Joe was wearing the paintball mask and he was breathing and he said it just kept fogging up.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, honestly, it's the worst thing. And everybody else that's not in our group, everybody's wearing camo. Everybody's got this humongous mask with a big sunglass filter on the outside. And I've got the little kid's paintball mask that I have to wear that covers my face, and I'm breathing in it, and all I can hear is my breath, and it's so hot because it's being reflected back into my face, and then the thing just fogs up. So literally every time I go out into a game, within the first minute, I'm blind. Literally I'm walking out and you can't take your mask off once you reach a certain point. And I'm blind, just walking behind people, cannot see a thing. And all I do is see shapes in the distance, hear my own breath, and then sort of see guys around me who are just telling us flanking moves and shit, where we need to go for whatever particular encounter we're at, because they have different kinds of games. Super frustrating. At one point, I wasn't sure if I was getting hit by a paintball, or because I couldn't see, literally could not see, and I looked over my shoulder because I felt like I got hit. But there was nothing there, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just continue playing. And then I felt like I got hit in my back, and I was like, whatever, screw it, I'll just walk away because I can't see my back. And I found Brian because he got hit recently too. I'm like, did I get hit in the back? He's like, no, there's nothing there. And I'm like, oh, whatever. End of this game.
You thought you got hit? It was just another one of those back pimples bursting.
Yeah, maybe for all I know, or it could have been an acorn fell on me because we're literally in the woods, hiding behind trees.
I love that you have no idea if you've been
no idea. No idea. And I'm like, I can't see. I'm sweating a ton because I'm breathing back into my mask. And literally all I can feel is, aside from the fact that the mask is like fogged out, I can feel the sweat pooling inside the little eye area. And it's honestly like the worst thing. And when I'm not out and I'm literally just like hiding behind like these structures they built, I'm just firing into the air, into the distance. I don't know where they're going. At one point, like
they're called bunkers.
At one point, like one of the games is like you have to put your team's flag up at the middle of like the little town, and there's a little well. So like I don't know if I'm firing at my own team. I'm just firing at shapes in the distance. Like literally have no idea. Or
how many times did you yell "laying down, suppressing fire"?
Like. So one game.
Why are you yelling anything? What kind of nerd are you?
One game we literally had to like attack a fort. Like our team was attacking the fort and there was a team defending it. And I had to crawl up like a bunch of rocks into like this fort that's outside the fort to like shoot at them, like to lay down suppressing fire for the people who are trying to break into the fort.
Did you hear that? He was laying down suppressing fire.
There is a guy next to me who's screaming like, "There's a guy in the third window, like 2 away from the flag," and I'm like, "There's 3 flags, and I can't see like where, like which one it is. I can't see a single person. I kind of see a foggy shape of a castle, and I'm just firing sort of near a flag, just so he would shut up and be like, "We need to lay covering fire." He would call out every time he saw it. "There's a guy hiding behind the pallets." I'm like, okay, I'm fighting. I'm shooting at the pallets. I don't know what's happening. And yeah, our team lost every single game. I felt bad because we were broke. Like our bachelor party team was broken up, and like half of them went on the winning team, and my team just lost every single round.
Did you have fun?
I had a semblance of fun at some point. But it was like 4 hours. I was exhausted. There's a lot of like sprinting and like running, and then like I got hit more when I was out than when I was in the game.
I had a semblance of fun. Joe's really like one of those fucking like AIs that somebody put together and just released on society, and this is what they've become.
I'm pretty much Jarvis when he gets the Mind Stone. Sort of human, but like based on like a computer program.
I'm not sure about that.
So did the people that you went with, did they like?
They had a good time. Yeah,
no, but I'm not asking if they had a good time. I don't really care if they had a good time. I'm asking, like, are they routine paintball?
No, I don't think so.
I think a lot of them were.
Like, yeah, Brian told me he used to paintball in high school, but I don't think he's paintballed since then. Yeah, as far as I could tell, nobody in our group had really paintball. But they had tons of, like, kids paintballers there. Like, just, like, 8-year-olds. Because when we were done... we had some paint left over. We tried to give it to them, and they use like some sort of like kid paintball that doesn't like hurt.
Did it hurt when you got shot?
Not always, but sometimes.
Did you the clothes that you were wearing?
I wore jeans and a blue hoodie. So literally after every game,
miserable.
Yeah, well, it was only 60 degrees out. After every game, people would be like, "Oh, I knew I hit you because you're the only one wearing a blue hoodie." I'm like, I didn't know what to wear to this thing, but
You were fine.
I couldn't tell who I was shooting at. I never had stories where like, "Oh, Jeremy, I saw you, and I just shot at you," because I couldn't tell Jeremy from like a tree.
That's pretty great. The other thing I wanted to ask Joe about is his. I don't even know how much you could talk about the training that you had to go through recently.
Oh my God.
I am very curious about this as well.
We had at work, we had some mandatory social justice and equity seminars. 2 days, a 2-day retreat where, we were supposed to talk.
Well, you can't really call it a retreat.
Well, that's what it was called on my calendar.
That's not like you guys went to a cabin somewhere.
No, it was at a hotel in the town next to where I work, so I get like $2 of mileage to go there. But it was literally the worst 2 days I've ever had. Like, you're supposed to share personal details about yourself and your family. Like, the first thing we did.
Explain what the setup, like what your work is now having these seminars.
So I work for like sort of like a school system, and most of our leadership is women. There's like not very many men in it, but they're all like super into this like social justice and equity thing, which is cool because we deal with like a lot of kids that don't have that at home and they're, like troubled. But so we had this seminar which they invited everybody to, which I thought like, I work in technology, like what is this going to do for me? I don't directly work with anybody, like any of our students. So I'm not really sure why I was there. But regardless, it was a mandatory meeting. And the first thing we do when we get there is they have you go around and say your first name, your position, and your gender identity, and then your pronouns. So like you have to say, and two things about you. So like something simple, like I was just like, my name's Joe. I work in tech. I am a white male. Like that's my, gender identity, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. And then everybody had to go around and do that nonsense. But like most people had stuff.
I would have mocked that.
It was the worst. And I got there late, so literally like the only spots available were at the first table, and that's where she started was with us.
Then it would make sense, the first table.
Yeah, and like a bunch of people were just like, "Oh, I'm a mom and I'm a woman," and then other people be like, "I'm queer. And
I got a big dick.
I'm a woman," but like I don't know. It just that first thing really threw me off, and then like they wanted you to bring an item from home that was your mentor.
What?
Like that reminded you.
Did you bring your fleshlight?
Of your mentor? No. That reminded you of your mentor, and then you had to like tell a personal story about your mentor to the group. And I'm like, I don't want to do any of this, so I made up like a great aunt that I don't have, and told a story about how we used to watch TV together.
So wait, what did you bring?
So I didn't bring anything, so I had to draw her face on a piece of paper and then put this in a center table.
Did you keep the piece of paper?
God.
No.
You didn't keep it?
I could draw it again. It was really basic.
I want to see it.
But like basically,
looks like that leprechaun.
You had people brought in items, and you had to like take it. I took my paper and I put it on the table because it's in this big group, and then they gave you a stone, and you had to put a stone in the middle bowl and just say like, one word that reminds you.
Did you
of your
join
mentor.
a cult?
No, this is what it was like. This is the
more
first half hour.
Than I could have imagined.
This is the first half hour of this day one, and then literally, it's so ridiculous. They do group stretching and meditation, so they would have us like stand up and like just stretch and like move our arms through.
And this is when you accuse like somebody of touching you inappropriately.
Oh God, it was so bad. Move our arms through our chakras, and then. And then, like
they're really hoping for somebody to just have a breakthrough. Like if Joe would have faked a breakthrough, all of these people would have just been coming for the rest of their lives.
My God. Oh well, all right. Let me get.
Do you
to
think that
day
any
two.
of them wore deodorant that they didn't buy at Lush?
Probably. So like this is still day one. This is first hour of day one, and like the day sort of proceeds where it's more like diversity training. You learn about like classism and sexism and ageism and all that nonsense, and like how power dynamics go in the office place, and that's pretty much what I figured.
Wait, hold on. I have to know a little bit more about the aunt that you made up.
Yeah.
So you draw the picture of the aunt and you put her on a piece of paper.
My great aunt Elsie.
What did you say? What's her name?
My great aunt
Elsie.
Elsie, motherfucker. So what did you say about Elsie? Like what?
Elsie and I used to watch TV together, and whenever I watch Cheers, it just reminds me of my great aunt Elsie and those nights in front of the fireplace. Yeah, I kept it short. I was like, I don't have anything. I didn't like. We had homework that we were supposed to do for this, a 5-page worksheet where we identify.
Did you watch that episode like just beforehand or something?
No, was there an episode of Cheers about that?
No, isn't there an episode of Frasier with the Green Hall and Elsie?
But we had homework. We had to do a bunch of reading and then fill out a 5-page worksheet of our personal privilege profile, where basically I identify like however I identify. So if I identify as a white male, I have to list if that's a dominant group or a non-dominant group, and then the privilege that comes with being a white male.
I'm surprised you didn't identify as half Mexican.
I didn't want to give them any details.
At least then, at that point, you've got you're not right there at the white male.
I don't like sharing that stuff with them. I give them surface level shit. Like they're my coworkers. I don't see them outside of work. I don't want to share that kind of info with them.
Oh, you don't
Mexican?
want them to know that you're.
I've told some of them. I just don't want to tell like a ton of people that I barely see.
Who cares if you are or not? What? Why is that?
I'm a private person. I don't
But
share
why is
that
that
kind of
something
stuff.
you would withhold? Nobody cares.
I know nobody cares, but I don't want to get into it in that kind of a setting. Like, I didn't want to be there to begin with because I didn't even fill out that privilege profile. And most of the first day ran like that.
You know what's strange, Dave, is that he won't tell people that he's half Mexican.
I've told
but
people,
he has
just
told
not
people
in this
at
setting.
work that he does a podcast.
No,
Which is way more incriminating.
I haven't
than
told
being
people at work.
Mexican.
No, my
Sometimes.
coworkers found it because I talked about it.
That's weird.
But everybody else doesn't know
Because
about
you
it.
talked about it, of course.
No, they Googled me.
They Googled you.
But then, like, okay, so day one was mostly that nonsense where, the classism and the team building and whatnot, and the meditations. And then day two arrives, and it became immediately obvious that this was group therapy because our leadership team, like, we run a contract for the state, and so the state people were there as well. So basically, they had us break into groups where it was like the leadership, the middle management, and the support staff. And then they would take 2 people from each group and put them in a small circle where we would talk about issues, and then everybody else surrounds them. They call it a little fishbowl. So everyone's listening to this conversation that 6 people are having. And everybody in my group was very emotional because they feel, like I said, mostly women, they feel like, they're not listened to and they put a lot of work into it. And then it's just like brushed off to the side, like all the decisions come from the top down. And I personally do not care. I don't care how any of it works at my job. I'm not invested in it emotionally. I just do my job and I leave. At the end of the day, I forget about work and I just come back the next day. But some people are like super, super into it. I get it. Like, they're more involved with the school system. So like they really want to feel like they're helping the kids and whatever. So I was one of those people that went into the fishbowl because people in my group could not speak. They were like so emotional. And in the group, you're supposed to say like I, not like we or my group. But so I just said like I, but like all of their reflections about being invisible and sad. And it literally made people in the center cry. And people were hugging me afterwards about my emotional feelings about being invisible and not being heard. But that was like the gist of it. It was just like people just didn't, want to be.
Why did you even take this a little bit seriously? Like that kind of bothers me.
Because I felt bad. Because there's some people that I work with daily who are just like super emotional.
To an extent, I think you take it seriously because it's your income. Like,
but it's not a serious thing for you. You can't be forced to be emotional.
Listen, it's a weird setting because one of the rules of the seminar was that you can't take anything that's said there like out with you. You can take the gist of it, but like you're not supposed to hold stuff against people. Like whatever they say there.
Yeah, but they can't force you to do that either.
Obviously it's not going to happen.
So
everybody there is supposed to be peers. Like basically, a lot of people had emotions that they wanted to express, but were afraid to because their bosses are all there. And I don't care because like I really just don't care about this job.
They can't make you feel, Dave. But at the same time, you don't want to go into it and seem like you're not taking it seriously enough that they're like, oh, this fucking Joe guy. Like you never want to be. I think Joe played it right. I think Joe went in with just the lowest amount of interest.
Did not care.
They were like,
no.
Okay,
well, see,
it's boring.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing: is there is a legitimate aspect of that sort of thing.
Sure.
Where it's fine and you can do it and whatever. This, what Joe is describing to us, is far beyond that, and taking it seriously.
It's obviously
does something.
It was
bad.
Obviously like a group therapy session between our leadership and
no.
state.
This is not group therapy. This is
That's
like a
what
cult.
This thing
no,
was.
This is a cult. This
Well,
is how you recruit people for a cult.
SJ&E does feel like a cult.
And when you give that any sort of like,
well, sure, but Joe,
respect,
like I said, I think
then
Joe played it the right way.
No, but he didn't.
He didn't play it seriously. He made up a thing. He gave them this very generic. We used to watch television together. That's about it. And they brushed over.
Right, but you're allowing them to move on into perpetuating their bullshit cult. This is not anything about social justice or
but
equity,
here's the thing.
anything.
I could have sat in the outer circle and just not said anything, but I felt bad because the people I do work with daily were super upset, and like they had all these feelings they wanted to express, and they're like, I don't think I can go in. I don't think I can go in.
Okay, but their feelings have nothing to do with the meeting that you were actually having. That's what I'm trying to say, is this was a completely exploitive thing.
This is what they wanted, and so then I was just like, you know what, I'll go sit in the center. I'll pretend that these are my emotions, and I was fine. Literally, I'm just sort of parroting what they were saying, and literally afterwards, I got hugged by like 6 people who said, thank you for saying that. Like, we really needed to hear that. Leadership really needed to hear that. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Like,
but they didn't.
People are so invested in this, like, and I even said, like, I don't know, people are so invested in this emotionally. I am checked out. This is what I said. I said, I'm checked out. I don't feel the good or the bad anymore. And apparently that just resonated with a bunch of people. Because they brought, like, the facilitators of the thing brought it up like 6 times. Like, it makes me sad that I heard that somebody was checked out. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So that was day 2, which was less SJ&E focused and more group therapy session.
Stop saying SJ&E.
That's what they call it.
I understand it, but just don't.
What do you want me to call it? When I would snap those photos to you guys during the day, like literally a bunch of people ask me back if I'm a social justice warrior now. So
I don't even know what that means, but what you're saying is just annoying me.
It was so bizarre because you could tell the people that were super into it because they showed a picture of 3 people in front of a baseball fence, and it was labeled equity. And everybody had like a box that they were standing on to look over the fence. But like one person was super tall, one person was like medium height, and one person was short. The short person couldn't see over the fence.
Right. The short person was black.
And then in the next picture,
equality, and then they all have boxes to make them the same height. I've seen it. We've all seen it.
They started fighting about that graphic, about how inaccurate it was, because like, shouldn't everybody be the same height? Why is there even a fence limiting their point of view? And the facilitator to be like, it's a baseball game. If there's no fence, they won't know when a home run is.
Yeah.
Like, she's trying to explain it to these people who are clearly high on social justice.
Liquid is on it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the picture.
Yeah, we've all seen it.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous. Most of our organization is just like white women, so it's like everybody's super invested into this, you know, like.
I don't know why that one kid isn't looking through the hole in the fence. Like, clearly he's tall enough to look through that hole. He's fine. And also, why aren't these motherfuckers paying to see the game? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, these people are actually cheating, the players. They're not getting any revenue from this.
Well, not even cheating the players, but all these assholes that paid money to go see the game, and these motherfuckers are just standing on boxes.
So basically, that was what they were trying to say, was that equity and equality are different. Like, we can all have the same thing, but you know, maybe I have less of it, and maybe you need more, but that's equity.
I would never be able to take anything like this seriously.
It was like,
I would do as much as I could.
I would love nothing more than to see Joe get up and talk about his Aunt Elsie.
Like, I told you the whole story. Like, Aunt Elsie and I used to watch TV by the fireplace, and we watched Cheers. And every time I watch Cheers now, it makes me think of my great Aunt Elsie, who has sadly passed.
Now, she was a mentor. How did she inspire you?
I said that the inspiration was that family was important.
She told me that she banged Ted Danson.
I should have gone with that. It's better.
I so badly wish your mentor was Dave's bubby.
I just needed a picture of Dave's bubby.
Yeah.
This is my
Why
friend
couldn't
Dave's
I be
bubby.
your mentor?
I didn't have anything of you. You want me to draw a picture of your face?
I didn't have anything of your great Aunt Elsie either.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, come on.
I didn't. That's a real person. I don't want anybody.
My face.
I don't want anybody looking up Matt.
They'll find out the real Joe.
Exactly. They'll be linked to this podcast.
Oh, you could have brought like a clothespin like this, and then talked about how it was Charlie Bucket's mom.
But people
stayed up till 4 a.m.
And then I felt
every
sort
night.
of bad trolling them because like some people were so into it. Like they brought in like family heirlooms from home and were like throwing it.
That's
on the
exactly
table.
why you needed to. That's
because
precisely why you needed to.
At first, like when I had to go first, and they're like, "What are your pronouns?" and I was like, "What?" and they're like, "Mine is her, hers, and she," and I was like, "Oh, it's he, him, and hers," and then I was like, "Wait, his," and they're like, "Oh." And I'm like, so they totally think like I'm just like blowing them off as like the first person that would.
Well, you should be. Because that's a completely personal thing to be able to convey to somebody else. Can't be like, you don't need to answer that when somebody asks you. It's irrelevant.
At the end of day one, they wanted feedback. We had to write feedback on, and I didn't have any feedback because I have no position on like any of this nonsense. Because
why is Liquid just ready for these photos?
Yeah. Okay.
Now the one where they're white.
I don't know. Are you also?
He only responds and he's just ready. Like I feel like.
Do you
Liquid
run SJ&E seminars, Liquid? Do you have these already? Yeah, the only feedback I had was like they had carrot cake as a snack for lunch, and I wrote no carrot
cake.
And then the person, one of the facilitators, like the person who works with me, who's on our design team, she's like, "Don't write that. That's rude. They have no control over the cake." Like, okay, it was just a joke because I have no feedback. I have nothing to contribute after this entire day of training.
I understand how Google image search works. It's so fast. It's just so fast about it.
Look at the equity when they have like a chain link fence, and they don't need boxes anymore.
They don't need boxes. Damn it. Oh man, I just Joe and I we talked on the phone on Sunday.
That's cute.
And he was telling me that he's got to go to these, and I didn't realize that it was going to be this much fun.
Oh my god.
For me, this is the best ever.
It was so obvious by day 2 why we shouldn't have been there because it literally was a group therapy for our leadership. And then like at the afternoon stuff that we did all had nothing to do with my job. It was literally like, how can we grow our organization to follow this nonsense? And like, if we're going to have diversity in our organization, people need to leave so that they can hire less white people. I mean, that's pretty much the sum of it.
Yeah, but that's not actually diversity then.
Well, I don't know, Dave. We can't hire more positions. We're fully staffed.
No, I understand, but then you would just have a different group of selected people.
Well, I was at a different meeting.
It's still not diversity. There's no actual diversity in that scenario.
I was at a different meeting like last year sometime where they were talking about this, and they were like, by 2019, we should have a greater percentage of minorities on our staff. And I'm like,
that doesn't mean anything.
You do realize that most of you would need to leave for this to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. You don't artificially do that. That happens naturally. Preventing it, on the other hand, is something that you can't do as well. Like, why is that so complicated for people?
I don't know. This whole like I wanted to roll my eyes at everything, but people are really like so into it when we got there. I don't know if it's just because did I tell you that when at my corporate office, which is in Northampton, they don't have a men's room? Like I went to use the bathroom.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, when I got there, and it was like a women's room and then an all genders bathroom, and I thought like, okay, maybe that's just unisex. There's like one more bathroom past that, and there wasn't. And so I went in the all genders bathroom, and it was clearly a men's room because it had stalls.
You mean urinals?
Urinals, and then like one stall that they just renamed to the all genders bathroom. So
right. So what I told you to do is if you had to take a shit, go shit in the one with more stalls.
I'm already weird about like shitting in public,
yeah,
so
try not to do that.
I feel as though if they, but that's just obviously my own stigma. But if they everything was like an all gender thing, it would just be worse for me.
Why?
I don't even
because
the people that you shit near most are women.
I don't even think our organization has any transgendered people or like people who identify as like non-binary. Like, so it really is.
It doesn't matter if they are or not. You can't do that. You can't be like,
There is a gas station near my house, and the bathrooms. Well, not near my house. It's one of my break points. Like I take a break in my long commute, and I stop off. And
you would stop at the gas station and not your house because it's near your house.
Yeah, like I'll stop there because like I just want to pee or like whatever because it's like 30 minutes away from my house. So in my hour and a half long drive, sometimes I stop there. They have both bathrooms are men and women bathrooms. Like they're not gender.
Which is fine.
Sure.
Nobody has any complaints about that. That makes perfect sense.
No, I have a complaint.
Okay.
One of the bathrooms you can throw tampons away in, and the other one you can't.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you throw tampons away?
Because that trash should have a lid and.
Right. I don't want to smell menstrual blood in one and not the other. I want to be able to smell it in both if I have to.
Right.
Or none of them.
Why can't this be like Ally McBeal's office where they just had a unisex bathroom? The all-gender bathroom.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you can't... If one's all gender, then they both are. You can't do that.
Anchor is right. It's an hour. I go crazy. Like, I really do just think of like the stupidest shit while I'm driving.
I don't know how you have deal with that commute. I couldn't do it. Like, if my commute goes longer than 45 minutes, I go crazy.
Mine takes 5.
I wouldn't mind a 5-minute commute.
I don't even have to drive it. I get a ride.
I used to have a 5-minute commute.
And then it's a 25-minute walk when I go home. Nice. Cool. Breezy.
It goes by quick because I just listen to podcasts and radio shows. But
yeah, but think of all the gas money you're spending now that gas is going up.
yeah, you get a gas allowance. It's fine.
Wish I had a gas allowance.
I wish I had a fart right now.
Did you guys see the trailer for Disenchantment?
No, I don't even know what that is.
No, I didn't see
That's
that.
the Matt Groening show that's coming to Netflix. You haven't heard about this?
I've heard
Dave?
about it. I just didn't see. I didn't know a trailer came out for it.
I knew
just
that he
shocked
had
that
something happening. I didn't know that it had a name or anything.
It's had a name for a while.
I didn't know that. The last thing I saw was like the first rumor about him having a thing.
I saw a picture of it. I didn't know a trailer was out.
You've seen the future in Futurama.
It's a teaser.
You've seen the present in Springfield. So, what's the obvious third move? The past, of course. Welcome to Dreamland.
Hear ye! Royal Court is now in session!
Let's have a look at this no-good pile of scum. Weak chin, buck teeth, and wow!
Hi, Dad.
Disenchantment, August 17th on Netflix.
They couldn't have led with a stronger clip.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
I was kind of expecting it to be like an elf or something.
No, I think it's going to be kind of fantasy. I think I read something that it was going to be pretty fantasy driven.
Yeah, well, that's why I was expecting it to be like an elf.
You're not interested?
I mean, that definitely didn't catch it. That did not
I'm
do
sure
anything
I'll
for
watch
me.
it because I'm sure there'll only be like 8 episodes. That's all Netflix does now.
Yeah, there was nothing about that little thing, whatever that was.
The animation didn't hook you in?
No.
You weren't
If
like,
anything, it
"Oh."
looked worse than both Futurama and The Simpsons.
It did kind of look like they had, just did it in like Java or something. Like it was kind of like stilted.
So I am surprised though that like Fox didn't get it first. Like Futurama went to Fox first. Now granted, there wasn't
That
an
was
option like Netflix.
20 years ago.
Right. I understand, but Matt Groening has such a relationship with Fox.
Yeah, but Fox has been sort of trying to change their brand recently. They canceled like all of their live action comedies last year. Or this year, rather, for next year.
They're also selling.
And they're they're selling to Disney, so.
Or they're trying to sell to Disney, but Comcast is trying to give them as much money as possible.
Right.
Well, they accepted Disney's latest offer, and they're putting that to a vote on because
Right.
they feel like Disney will actually get approved, but Comcast won't get approved by the U.S. government.
Right. I don't know, but that little thing did absolutely nothing for me. I don't know why that's what they used.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that like that was just what they had ready, and that there's some good
That's
stuff.
it?
Yeah, like there's some good stuff coming.
When's that supposed to be done?
August.
August. Oh, boy.
It's obviously done.
Oh, boy. Does not bode well.
August. Isn't August when we're supposed to have marijuana?
Is it?
Or is that next month?
I thought it was now.
Is it now? I thought
I
when
thought
are
it
the
was like a
dispensaries
couple weeks
open?
ago.
Well, is there like any dispensaries open?
I don't know if any opened yet, but I thought that was like a couple days ago or like a week ago or something.
Matt, are you gonna drive down to dispensaries around here?
Listen. If there's a place
Or
that's
it's
selling,
July 1st, maybe? Yeah, July 1st.
If there's a place selling legal marijuana, I mean, I definitely want to.
You want to try it out?
Is it weird to say, like, just because for so long it's been illegal and you've had to, backdoor deal or, get your dealer or whatever, like, obtain it however you have to obtain it.
Yeah, but
now I can actually walk into a legal store, purchase it. Like, that's why I would do it.
I think that's like legitimate because you never knew what you're getting half the time with the dealer.
You did. Unless you were buying from
no, I'm just saying
on the
to
street.
legally do it is.
You just want to do it because it's like you turned 21. You can now buy a beer.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've had beer before the age of 21, but now like this is
the first time you can actually buy it.
Right.
And then like once you buy it, you're like, oh, this wasn't that big a deal.
Dude,
Shit, now I'm out $10.
The DARE program. It was bad. It's bad stuff. Bad news bears. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna buy anything to smoke. Like it would be some sort of edible. I don't think I could.
You'll buy a gummy bear and then only ever eat the.
Yeah,
worms.
I'd probably buy a gummy bear.
You should be like Gary and just like eat a cookie and then like watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
How many gummy bears?
And then eat a pizza. Because that looks like an amazing Saturday.
Depends. You can't just. Nobody knows what. Yeah. The standard.
It's a shame we couldn't buy like gummy bears and then do that. Remember when we gave Joe like 15 melatonin?
Oh God, I was ruined the next day. I could not stay awake, and I went to work.
How many did you eat that night? What was the total number? It was like more than 10.
I was gonna say it's at least 10. I had no idea because I'd never taken a melatonin before. Because you were just like, it's safe, it's natural.
It is. It doesn't do anything.
But like,
I just know that like if I take one little melatonin pill, right, like in about 30 minutes, I'm actually really tired. Like I am ready to pass the fuck out.
I don't know. I literally,
had
that's
more than 10 gummies of the. I don't. Yeah. I mean, it was.
When I woke up that morning, it was like I was in a fog and I couldn't move, and I still made my way to work. And I think by like 2 p.m., it started to clear out. I should have just called out sick and slept the rest of the day.
Yeah, Anchor says he loves melatonin. Like it's not something I take regularly.
I don't either, but
there's some nights where I just know, like I can tell early on, like if I don't do something, I'm gonna have a restless night.
Yeah.
And I think, all right, I'm just gonna pop a melatonin.
Sometimes if I'm just lying in bed for 30 minutes, I'm like, this is insane. I need to fall asleep because I'm gonna have to be up early. I'll take the melatonin.
See, I get worried about taking it too late. Like if I take it around 9:30, I know that I'm good. If I take it past 9:30, I know that the morning is gonna suck dick.
Oh, that doesn't really happen to me so much, but like sometimes I go to bed late. I have to be up at 6, so like it's 11:30 and I'm still not asleep. I'll pop one. That sometimes helps. Yeah, that actually seems like a good idea. Maybe I'll take one tonight before I go to bed.
It's 11 o'clock. I couldn't imagine taking one.
Fire.
Dave, were you going to buy... I mean, you're a man of unlimited wealth now.
What?
Are you going to go buy some legal weed?
I mean, it needs to be walkable.
Yeah, where is a dispensary going to open near us?
I think I don't know where they're opening. Like I think there's maybe Malden, Cambridge area.
No.
Yeah, but like all our local towns like banned it.
Most of them.
I think Lowell has a dispensary too.
Ugh,
it's the closest place
like
near me.
Rarely in Lowell. I go to Lowell like 3 times a year, maybe.
Michelle has some in her city, she said. Guessing that means Fall River.
Yeah, of course Fall River has it. Get shot on your way to the dispensary.
Fall River was like, no, we want to keep it illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be one in Millis.
Oh, is there? Nice.
I think. I know that they at least grow. I don't remember if there's supposed to be a.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was
also.
like by like Uncle Ned's fish factory and you
It is.
Really? That's where it's going to be?
Yeah. Nearby in that the industrial park.
I was going to say, you could just walk there right from work, grab some stuff, and walk home.
It's gonna be the next stop for the Phantom Gourmet to have it at the drive-in. It's like they have their beer and wine garden, and then they'll have a pot garden.
I actually saw there was something on Netflix I haven't watched yet, but it was like something about cooking with weed, and I forget what it was.
I saw that. There's
Yeah.
like that cooking show.
Yeah, I haven't watched it
They
yet.
make a bunch of different food. I haven't watched it.
But I was intrigued.
I figure I probably will watch it.
My mom was complaining to me the other day because her next door neighbor literally is growing, like in his driveway. He's just huge pots of it, and she's like, "Why is he growing it? That's so much." And I'm like, "That's actually like the max you can have." She's like, "What? Really?"
He's growing it in his driveway.
Yeah,
though?
he just has like big pots of it, like just in his driveway. I don't know why. He's insane.
Man, it's a brave new world.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I was trying to get my parents to try it because like my dad, stands on his feet and his feet are killing him because he's in poor health.
Well, how else will he stand?
Well, I mean, like he stands all day, like he's a bartender.
I know, just said he stands on his feet.
But then he's always complaining that his feet are killing him. So he and his friends, like they're all in their 60s. They buy drugs off each other, like OxyContin, and they just pop one
good.
at night.
Your dad buys oxys off.
Yeah,
other
like
people?
he has a little plastic baggie
Jesus
full
Christ.
of oxy pills, and like
Your dad is one of the worst people.
I know. And then like for Father's Day, I went out and his friend came out, does the Halloween stuff with us. And the drunk guy who's always like a mess. Yeah, him. He was even worse that night. It turned out like before he started drinking with us at the bar, he popped an oxy and just like wanted to relax. And so he was a mess. Like we went to
How terrible it sounds when you say it pops an oxy.
he popped an oxy. And
damn it.
literally he went.
One of my favorite stories about Joe recently is Father's Day, because
His dad is afraid of drinking for free or something.
his
Oh yeah.
dad, dude, you have to tell the story. His
Okay.
dad was like, Joe wanted to do something kind of nice, right?
Okay,
The
so
day
this is
before
Father's Day. Kevin and Tanya are moving out of their house, like where we used to do the show in their garage.
I will say, dude, I was bummed. I felt I had the feels, as the kids say these days, when you sent a couple pictures of
the
there was
garage.
that one lonely chair.
Yeah.
One
Lonely
sad,
chair.
lonely chair that we left in the fucking
Because it was
attic.
broken.
But like Kevin and Tanya text me, they're like, "You left some stuff in the attic. Like, could you pick it up?" And so it was Saturday, like the day before Father's Day, and I needed some help. So I asked my dad to help me move that stuff into my car, and he was good. It took us like an hour or so, and we got it all out, and I threw it on my curb. And so like he needed a ride to go to the VFW because he was going to meet his friends there to drink. And Dave had texted me earlier that he's having a whole whiskey tasting and beer and wine tasting at his store. So I thought like, oh, my dad needs a ride to the VFW. It's like literally down the street from where Dave works. I'll take him to Dave's thing. We can get, some samples and, he can get a little drunk before he goes to the bar. I bring him to Dave's store and I'm like, all right, let's go in. And he's like, no, I'm just going to sit in the car. I'm like, what? There's like free beer inside. Like you can have some beer. And he's like, no, I'm good. I don't want to leave. So I go inside and like Dave's got a huge setup going, like, and it's great. There's like 16 tables of different alcohol and everybody's got like 5 different drinks to try. And I like ripped a whole bunch of whiskey shots within like the span of 10 minutes.
God damn it! What is wrong with you?
What?
Popped some oxys, ripped some
shots.
whiskey shots. What the fuck?
What?
Rip some shots, man.
Rip some shots at Dave's
I'll rip some
work.
whiskey shots, guys.
I tried a bunch of stuff. Like Dave gave me the sheet and he
Afterwards, we're
marked
gonna
out
pop
stuff for me to
Oxys.
try. And then I tried a bunch of that stuff. And then I hung out at Dave's table and ate his peanuts because it.
Joe got drunk very quickly.
I got drunk very quickly.
Oh, of course.
And then I was in there for like a half hour. My dad was like texting me like, "Can we get going? Can we get going?" And when I got back to the car, he was just like, "Oh, it's canceled. We're not going to the VFW anymore." And I'm like, "What the hell?" He's like, "I didn't want to go in because I was afraid you were going to make me pay for something." I was like, "It's all free.
What?
All free." That's what he told me.
Not only that, but it's the day before Father's Day.
It's the day before Father's Day. He didn't even want to hang out with me. He was
No.
waiting to hang out with his
It's
friends.
not that. It's not that. It's like, what kind of fucking retard
Right.
thinks, oh, you know what? My son wants to take me into a store the day before Father's Day. I know what he wants. He wants me to buy him
And
shit.
it's not. Your dad is notorious for
Yeah.
making you pay for things.
Exactly.
Like, this is just the stupid human.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'm sorry, Joe, but
no, it's true. I mean, when he pops his oxys, you know.
Right. It's just like, and what's really funny is because what you keep telling me about like how more and more like unhinged Republican or not even Republican at this point, it's just like weirdo, like
Fox
cultist
News
right wing stuff
is not far enough right for them
right.
anymore.
So it's funny how like that reaction that he had is reminiscent of that mentality.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that like even though it's the case that you would have been paying for him, he thinks like beyond everything that and he'll like shoot himself in the foot because he's convinced that you're trying to get one over on him.
He's convinced everybody's against him. Like my dad does not get his news from Fox News. I used to go over their house and it would just be on constantly Fox News. And now they don't even watch it because it's not crazy enough anymore. My dad gets his news from a guy in a basement with an American flag taped up on his wall who has connected all the dots to all these news stories. Like, I don't know. I don't understand him anymore.
It's
but
really
yeah,
depressing.
That was him not enjoying. And Dave did a really good job with that thing because it was a nice setup.
It's true. I had peanuts.
Yeah, he did have peanuts. And I bought some of Dave's beer.
He did. It was good.
But that's also because some of the whiskey that they were selling was like $90 a bottle.
Hey, Dave, why don't you have Shinerbach Ruby Red?
I don't do that order. That's that one's done on my day off.
Well,
But
make sure they
told him
get
to.
some. I was in your area and I Googled where it would be, and like I had to go to Woonsocket.
I'm aware. I know. I told him I was like, we need to carry this for the summer, and he won't order it.
Stupid.
I don't do that order. I order good beer.
I'm not gonna drive all the way to fucking Woonsocket, but I do want some Ruby Red.
Well, you said you were going to Woonsocket. You couldn't get it at a store in Woonsocket?
No, I didn't go to Woonsocket. That was the place.
Stop saying it like that.
Huh?
Woonsocket.
It's Woonsocket.
Woonsocket.
Stop it.
What is this? Popping these in your mouth. That's funny.
Those are the worst flavors of all of those things, too.
I know. So yeah, I was trying to get my dad to.
What's your favorite Hot Pocket flavor?
The chicken broccoli one.
Really?
I'm a blueberry Pop-Tart guy.
Yeah, blueberry, strawberry Pop-Tarts are good, but s'more Pop-Tarts are disgusting.
What was that one that we tried
Arrogant
that
Bastard
was
is
awful?
Not a good beer.
Remember we did that one episode that was
Dude,
tastings?
Arrogant Bastard is for fucking arrogant dickheads. Like they just
yeah.
Oh, I drink Arrogant Bastard.
It's not been a good beer for a long, long time, too. That's the funniest part.
It was super hoppy.
It's like one of Stone's worst beers by
love to
far.
jerk off to it. I like their the kind of day drinking IPA. I forget what it's called. What are those called?
Sessions.
Yeah. Their session IPA is pretty tasty. Arrogant Bastard. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Arrogant Bastard 10 years ago was popular and decent because there weren't many choices. Now, nobody drinks it because it's just no.
Yeah, s'mores Pop-Tarts suck.
S'mores Pop-Tarts are disgusting.
What was that flavor of Pop-Tarts that we taste tested on the show that was really awful?
Oh, I think it was A&W root beer.
Yeah, that's what root beer Pop-Tart. That was miserable. That was the worst thing I ever tasted.
I saw on Facebook Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks did something with the jelly beans.
They did a Bean Boozled. Well, it's Stunt Month,
right?
Stunt Month, which is actually coming to a close. He took them all and put them in a blender, and
wouldn't that just turn them into like dust?
It kind of did. Like
I
would
have put water
chunky,
in it,
but they made it was really funny because Drunk he tried them and it kind of broke him. He was like, "It's all the flavors." It was always. It was a pretty funny moment. If you have not listened to the most recent Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks, it's
next time I advise using some kind of liquid in there.
I actually highly recommend if you haven't listened to the most recent episode of the Furnicast, they were having audio issues, and in the beginning of the episode, and Dan, I guess, decided that he wanted to leave so here's what happened: is they started the episode. Dan was having audio issues, so he went to work on that. Mandy did the show by herself. Then they kind of started over, but in the podcast form, they decided to leave in the like that first little chunk. So Mandy tells this story twice in the beginning of the episode. And when she starts to tell the story over again, I laughed with my teeth out.
Nice.
So, check out Furnicast, WFOD. Matt now listens to all the podcasts. What does that mean? I've always pretty consistently listened to WFOD and Furnicast.
Weird. No, because you drive so much.
And judging by our download numbers, you haven't? Like I haven't listened?
Why? Were you the only listener and it has been 0 for a while? How would they know that?
All right. Well, this has been fun. Do you guys got anything else?
No, I'm eating chicken.
No.
You want to do a final thought around the table, Dave?
My final thought is, what the fuck is this shit that Roman posted 3 hours ago on Facebook?
I don't know. It's weird that he posted that because his sister is a pretty staunch, Democrat, left wing.
I never really gave much thought into what Roman is politically, but
he's stupid apparently.
Yeah,
because this makes no sense.
No, there's no doubt that Roman is in fact
he's a moron.
A retard.
Right, but so it's like a image macro with the impact font. Nobody who works 40 hours a week should live in poverty over Bernie Sanders. And then it's Captain Picard. Then stop giving their money to people that work 0 hours a week.
What money? Who's working 0 hours a week that's getting the money?
Yeah, not only that, but as Joe so appropriately pointed out, that Star Trek is a show that money doesn't exist and everybody has everything they want.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Why did they even make that? Obviously that person never watched Star Trek.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
Roman definitely has never watched Star Trek.
Somebody's marrying that human.
That's true.
Matt, do you think you're going to get invited to the wedding?
Yeah, of course.
Have you gotten an STD yet?
What?
No.
Save the date?
Don't do that. That's almost as bad as popping oxys.
I'm pretty sure that's a Brooklyn Nine-Nine joke.
It is.
Is it?
I forgot about that too. Brian told me the other day that a bunch of people texted him that they got their STDs from him. So
I don't think I got my STD from him.
I got mine. It's a magnet.
I'll have to ask Rochelle. I'm pretty sure we did.
Dave, did you get one?
No.
Dave's getting shunned.
I don't care.
Did you, Joe? Did you actually respond to that one wedding request that you went to the bachelor party for?
Yeah. Why? Did you?
Are you going?
Yeah. I
You take
RSVP'd.
pictures.
Yeah. I RSVP'd. Why? Should I not have?
No, I asked if you were going to take the pictures. If you RSVP'd, that's fine.
Well, of course I am.
Are you going to take the pictures?
Well, yeah, they asked me to.
So you're not actually going, you're working.
That's a little upsetting.
I don't know.
When people do that, that is the shittiest thing.
It's the worst. It's maybe the worst thing because the excuse is
all
right,
of your friends are hanging out.
right. And hey, we don't want to hire a photographer, but we don't really care about pictures. But we care enough to ruin your night
Right.
by you taking pictures.
I don't know. They said they don't want that many pictures, so I guess I'll see how many it turns out being.
If they didn't care about pictures,
Then they wouldn't do
then
it.
they would just let people take pictures on their phone and save all of the Snapchats.
That's also probably true. Or they could do like every other wedding I've been to that has like an Instagram hashtag or something.
That also has a professional photographer.
Yeah.
No, seriously, you should just go and say, oops, I forgot my camera.
But I have my phone camera.
Oh my god, you should totally do that. Sorry, my camera battery died. It wouldn't charge.
Everybody's so hostile about that.
No, it's a bullshit thing.
I am truly annoyed for you. And if you don't care, you don't care. That's fine. But I also know that you're. I would
rude.
say too nice of a person, but it's almost.
Okay, so like let's put it in another situation. Imagine that your job is a bartender,
Yeah.
and they invite you to their wedding. Hey, by the way, can you bartend for us?
My dad has actually done this to me for videography. he's invited me to his friends' weddings to video.
Right, but it's the same thing. Like if I worked as a bartender and somebody was like, "Hey, can you come to my wedding? Oh, by the way, can you bartend here? We don't have any
drinks."
Yeah.
It's not that
it's like,
important.
Fuck off.
Well, how does like Elton John feel if he goes to a wedding and they're like, "Hey, by the way, can you play a couple songs for us?" At
the same way, I imagine. He'd be like, "No, I'm not working. This is not a job."
Well, I don't know.
It's an incredibly rude thing to ask, because then you're like they're basically putting you in a position of either not going to their wedding because they would then not be inviting you, or disappointing them and making them spend a ton of money or something. Like they're putting you in such a shitty spot because they're being selfish.
It's such a bullshit excuse too. To
if
say
I said
like
no, and then like would I still have RSVP'd to the wedding? Like if they asked me before I RSVP'd and I was like, no thanks. Like, would it be weird if I then RSVP'd for the wedding?
It shouldn't be, but it would.
Right.
Because they ask you based on this assumption that you're going to be doing.
The weird thing is when they say to you, like, "Oh, do you mind taking a few photos?" Like, we don't really care about photos, so that's why we're just going to have you take some. It's like, well, obviously you care enough about photos that you want
some.
Right.
But here's the other thing. I'm not really a super good photographer. I've never photographed a wedding.
No, but that's the thing. That's what they're getting out of this.
Yeah.
Like they know that you're good enough.
Maybe. I don't know.
Are they paying you?
No.
Then don't do it. Go attend their wedding, fine. Because you're attending their wedding. You were invited to their wedding. You weren't hired as a photographer. Don't do it.
I don't know. I think that would be weird.
It shouldn't be. It's worse for them to
maybe
ask you.
I'll just do what I did at like the Halloween party, where I'll give a couple people my camera and they can take photos for a while.
You should.
Or they can just use their phones then instead of being drunk with your camera.
That doesn't
you
make sense.
you should buy. Tell them that the battery died on your camera, and just bring a Kodak like disposable camera.
That actually might work because I'm pretty sure between all of the 48s we filmed over the years and loaning my camera out to people, I've not gotten all my batteries. I think I have one battery left. I used to have like 4. And right now, Jim has my camera, and he's had it for like 3 months and has not returned it.
Oh, that's been up his butt.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. He said he needed it to take photos for his house.
He definitely took pictures of his dick.
Mm-hmm.
There are pictures of your brother's dick in your camera.
Of his asshole. Close up. For sure. Did we do a final thought?
That was mine. But mine was bitching about Roman's stupid bullshit.
Yeah. Joe?
I've been watching some Twitch lately, which I hadn't really done in a while. And now I don't know. I use it to fall asleep to. And instead
Weird. What are you watching?
I just watch people play World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would put you to sleep.
Yeah. But like a lot of since the new expansion's coming out in like 2 months, and a lot of people are doing like the classic bullshit, so I'm just like, oh, that puts me to sleep.
Makes sense.
Good enough.
But then I feel weird. Like Dave told me to subscribe to people with Twitch Prime. So then I subscribed to somebody, and then they called me out on the air, and there was a big graphic that said like Finger Lickens has paid, Twitch Prime. And that was weird. It was like it was part of the stream.
I only use that for people I know usually these days.
Yeah, I didn't subscribe to anybody that had like a bunch of viewers. It was somebody that had like, I don't know, 30 people watching.
Yeah.
What do you got, Matt?
I'm going to Hershey Park this weekend.
Is that anal?
Yeah.
You're riding the Hershey Highway?
Is that really what is what?
No, in Hershey, Pennsylvania. We're going. Yeah.
I mean, that's clearly a euphemism, right?
Yeah.
We're leaving tomorrow. We're going to be meeting up with Rochelle's father, and the kids are going to be gone for a couple weeks after that, but we're going to be spending some time at the old Hershey Park. So,
is this your compromise? Because I know you don't like doing family vacations.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I could cash out my ETL.
Yeah, you're always saying that. I don't want to take a day off. I could just cash this out.
I know, because I could keep working and then cash it out and have more money. But anyway, that's I'm excited to see what that's all about. I actually don't really know what's going on.
So are you coming back Sunday night?
Yeah, we're going tomorrow. We're staying some family, and then the park is on Saturday, and then we're coming back Sunday. So,
are we going to be doing another show in the next month?
Anchor.
What?
What's that, Dave?
Are we going to be doing another show in the next month?
I think so. I think we should.
Because we got that thing coming up in the end of the month.
What's coming up at the end of the month?
The thing that we got the tickets to.
Oh yeah. I tell you what, I'm really excited about. I mean, we can.
Did we ever find a fourth person?
Rochelle.
Yeah.
Is she going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're going to Warped Tour.
Oh, you just blew the secret.
It's not a secret.
I was actually talking to Goldie.
We're a bunch of old men going to
about the bands that we wanted to go see. It's the last Warped Tour ever, and yeah, that's going to be at the end of July.
Until like
I'm really excited about that. Actually,
nostalgic Warped Tour.
You know, they say it's a nostalgic Warped Tour, and there are bands that I'm really excited to see. But some of the bands that I would, if I were going to make a nostalgic Warped Tour,
I would have done. Yeah.
I'm surprised that a lot of bands didn't step up,
Yeah, I was really hoping for a better lineup, but I mean, it is a good lineup at the same time.
No, listen, there's a ton of. I'm gonna have a good time. Like, I'm gonna go there. There's plenty of bands that I want to see, and I'm gonna have a good time. But yeah, as far as a nostalgic,
like, where is it here? Is it
Mansfield?
Mansfield, yeah.
Oh, Mansfield, nice.
Should be fun.
Oh, it's going to be a good time. Goldie's going to be there.
Yeah.
So.
What I'm really not looking forward to is how hot it's going to be.
Yeah, or if it's probably going to be raining. I think it's rained at every Warped Tour.
Yeah, but at least rain, like it is, as long as it's not hot, stinky rain, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be Warped Tour, like at Mansfield. It's going to.
It's actually, I think, exactly like 10 years ago that. With Haste, the band that I was in, we played at Warped Tour in Mansfield, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Are they playing again this year?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There.
I won't be there performing with them, but we'll be an audience member. Guys, we're the Lotus Cast.
Will Suspended be at Warped Tour?
No.
The Dr. Becker reunion?
Follow us on Twitter. There's nothing there. At the Lotus Cast. Follow us on Instagram. At the Lotus Cast. Nothing there either.
That's not true. There's stuff that's still there. It's old posts.
No, the Lotus Cast doesn't exist anymore because somebody didn't renew the domain.
I renewed it.
It's renewed.
When I last checked, it wasn't.
.com or .net?
I was going to say .com should be fine because that was at the beginning of the year. We were still doing a thing.
Yeah, .net doesn't exist. Okay.
Make sure you check out strangelabel.com. Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks on Monday. Tuesday is no, they're on Tuesday nights. That's right. My bad. Monday nights is not safe for water coolers.
Yeah, I got pinged like $100 for that website the other day, or last month or something. So Dave, you should update it more.
Goldie said, I found out you were having a show tonight by looking at Twitter because none of my friends told me.
Is her friends in quotes Dave Harvey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I guess I could have also said something, but I forgot.
To be fair, I didn't know that if we actually were until that moment.
Oh, friends?
No, doing a show. I never know. I never know with you guys.
So I think there's a, you know what, we can try. We'll try, guys. Let's do this next Thursday.
But next Thursday is the day after the 4th of July.
Oof, that's right. So we should have plenty of 4th of July memories to unfold.
I'm gonna be working.
What are you guys doing for 4th?
At 9:30.
Matt,
we'll be closed.
Are you gonna
on
go
the
to
4th?
Are you gonna go to Sean's dad's house?
On the 5th, you'll be open. No, not going to Sean's dad's house. No, it's not happening.
Even when Sean's not there?
Yes, definitely when Sean's not there. I never went when Sean was there. What is this? The Schmolodiscast? Or the douchebag Bojangler was going to be with Goldie up there too. Oh, okay. Guess that's Bojangler. The typical. All right, guys, make sure you check out strangelamble.com. That's where all the fun is. Every night. Till next week.
Fuck music.
Dave, hit stop.